quick video update. So it is July 14th. So I don't remember when my last update was, a couple days ago, I think, or maybe yesterday. Maybe yesterday when I was having a freaking nervous breakdown. Emotional breakdown more than nervous breakdown. But progress has been made. So I'm going to show for my records here what I got done today. So let's start in this corner. Sewing machine still needs to be packed up, but the cabinet is half empty. The drawers are all empty. A lot of stuff packed. Stuff off the wall. Shelves coming down soon. Here's where the big work happened. I got all of this emptied out and packed up. And it's not in my car yet because my car, I should have started back there. Actually, I'm going to pause and I'm going to go back there. Okay, this is actually the first thing that happened today is I emptied off most of this shelf. And it's all in my car, plus a few other miscellaneous things. So that's the next load I'm taking over here shortly. And then I think all those books are mostly knitting and sewing books that I think I'm going to put into a small box and label very well so I can find it when I want it, but put into storage. I don't think I need those at the rental house. And then there actually are more scrapbooks. I had taken them upstairs to see if they fit on a certain shelf I had up there, and they didn't, never made it back. But those, again, are going to go in storage. Stuff up top is all going to go to the rental, but I just haven't pulled it down off there and brought it over. So there's a lot of stuff back here. It's going to the rental. That whole shelf of stuff is going to the rental. This table's going to the rental. A bunch of that stuff's going to the rental. But one load at a time is all I can do. I mean, that's all I can do. It's a good thing I am not a, vain podcaster or whatever. Not podcaster, YouTuber, and care that I am hot, sweaty, and no makeup for these videos. And again, I don't even know if they're going to go on YouTube. So we'll see. I'm at the rental house in my kitchen. I don't have the air set real cold in here because I'm not living here yet and I don't want to pay for it. But it's better than outside. And I just brought another big load. And when I say big load, as much as a Mini Cooper 4-door hardtop will carry. So, we're not talking a F-150 pickup truck, but it's enough that I can carry and move by myself in a reasonable amount of time and effort. But brought over almost everything that I packed up yesterday in my studio space. I'm going to go back and load up my electronics, my sewing machine, embroidery module, Cricut machine, printer, and I have a box with all my drums in it. I think that's the main stuff. Maybe my jar of moon water. And that might be it for today as far as moving stuff over here, unless I get a second wind this evening. I got a second wind yesterday evening, and it cooled off considerably, and I didn't take advantage of it, and I'm regretting it. Because the front of this house faces east, so even in the morning, it's not cool. So if I come over here in the evening, that'll all be in the shade, and I'll be able to bring some stuff over. So if I bring the electronics over this afternoon, and I then spend the rest of the day just loading stuff up, I can bring another fairly big load over in the evening. And I think until I bring clothes and personal care items for the bedroom, until the furniture comes over on Monday, that's, I think, going to be it. So what I got on here to talk about is the stuff that probably, if I ever publish this stuff publicly, is what people are going to want to know. Where am I emotionally? Not what random boxes I moved today. Nobody's going to give a shit about that. I'm not even going to give a shit about that. What I want to record is how I'm feeling about things. And I think I said on the last video, or one of the last couple videos, how I'm trying to turn my resentment about always having to do this shit by myself into gratitude that having to have always done it myself has led me to know how to do it myself and to know I can do it by myself. So a lot of women my age and a lot of women in similar situations that have never had to push themselves, or not push themselves, but test themselves in such a way that they know just this is their first big challenge in life. This is definitely not my first big challenge in life that I've had to handle alone. So, that said, that still doesn't mean that I'm not getting triggered with some of those emotions still. Because I look at all the work that needs to be done this weekend, and I would just love to check out for the weekend and come over here and, well, I can't because I won't have furniture over here. But just hand that over and not have to deal with any of it. But I know that's not going to be the case, that I'm still going to have to participate and help and work and do. I'm also looking at how few cabinets are in this kitchen and how much stuff I have to put in here, but that's another day. All right, because I'm trying to distract myself from what's going on inside my heart and my head is what I'm doing. And even this morning I was kind of this morning I was also triggered by my bank account. The reason that this has taken so long to get to this point is a lot of it's been financial, and we are not by any stretch of the imagination financially challenged. My husband makes really good money, makes a good income, and he's generous. And I know that there might be a month or two here that are going to be challenging, but before I knew that we were ready to pull the plug, or whatever the metaphor is, axiom is, on this whole separation divorce thing, I had last year, even with COVID, had saved up quite a bit of money in my account, my personal account, from my work. But between the beginning of the year and now, I've burned through it. I've purchased a new computer, purchased a set of singing bowls. All of those things, ostensibly are for work, are for my livelihood, but I'm not making a lot of money on my website, which is what the computer is for. I'm actually making any money on my website right now. It's costing me money. I haven't had a sale in months, and I haven't had time in the last month to really promote it. Same with my YouTube channel. I haven't been able to upload anything on there and get that. I was starting to get a little momentum, but yeah, it's petering out before it's even started, really. So, and yoga classes, I teach one yoga class a week for a month. That's $100 a month tops, maybe, on a good month. Maybe, I have had some decent classes this month, so it might be a little more than that this month, but still, that's barely one trip to the grocery store. So, today's 15th, paid the rent this morning, which Steve gave me money for the rent a couple weeks ago, but I took the first month's rent, or the deposit, which is 1 month's rent plus the pet deposit, out of my account. So that was another almost $2,000 that came out of there. So when I paid the rent this morning, it dropped my balance below where it's not overdrawn or anything like that. There's money coming in tomorrow because I get paid for a job I just finished yesterday. So it's not like I'm starving. It's not like I can't make my rent. It's not like there's no money coming in. There's money coming in. But it just triggered in me the fear of something, again, I've been putting on the back burner. It's in the back of my brain, nagging at me every day, that I have to get a budget set and I have to really buckle down. And once the house sells and closes and I have the money from that, I can breathe for a while. But I also don't want to burn through that money, because that money is my nest egg. That is my retirement. That is my next house if I decide to buy. that's a lot of things. It's not just I can't just live off it. And again, once the divorce is all final and the settlement money starts coming in, and it will, I trust 100%, I trust him to pay on time. So that's there. It's all an unfounded and unfounded fear. It is an irrational, unfounded fear, but even 30 years, and there were some lean years in the beginning and when the kids were born and stuff that, but for the majority of our marriage, my husband's made a really good living and we've been able to live very comfortably and never have to really, there have been a few times here and there that things like new wells and, household emergencies and things like that. But knock on wood, nothing has ever been major. So, but I grew up with many very limiting beliefs about money and earning money and abundance and spending money and saving money and having money and living a certain style of life. And so they're very deeply ingrained, and I was very poor as a college student before I got married. I think it's also one of the reasons I got married right out of college. Obviously, yeah, it was a marriage of love, but there was definitely things inside of me that were, I could have taken a gap year or two and worked before I got married after I graduated from college and, just had a little more me time, but I was so burned out from hand to mouth living and working 60 to 80 hours a week and going to school full time and still barely having any money. So, all those things during my formative years have really embedded deeply in my psyche of fears of money. I'm trying very hard, doing a lot of work to transform that into a mindset of abundance, to a mindset of dream it and make it happen. Not Tony Robbins kind of bullshit, but just deep. I can do this. I can do this. I will do this. And I'm going to, not to prove it to anybody else but myself, that I can do it. There might be a tiny little, I'm sure there's a lot of little nuggets of, you're only living the lifestyle you're living because of his income. There's a lot of nuggets of that. And I don't even want to go back to that lifestyle. I don't need a big house. I don't need a pool in the backyard, although I haven't had a pool in the backyard since we left Illinois. But, I don't, I would rather spend my money, quite honestly, on travel than I would rather have a little house and keep me and my animals happy and content and comfortable. But I don't ever want to fear the bank account, the bank statement. I don't want to fear the bills coming due. I want to know that my budget is covered with the basic, the money that I know is coming in. And then everything that I make and create and put out into the world that brings in abundance to me is just that, bringing in abundance to me. It's just adding goodness into my life and not, I'm not having to hustle. I can get out there and hustle. I can get a few extra jobs here and there to, bring in income if I want to go on a trip or if I want to buy something in particular. But my day-to-day is covered, and that's really all I'm asking. And today just triggered it when I saw that number go down below where I wanted it, my baseline to be. Because that's another thing that's going to be a big part of my future for myself, is that I'm going to be paying Beth. Beth gets paid first. I'm going to set up new bank accounts and savings accounts that automatically, if I make a deposit into my checking account, 10% of that money automatically goes into my savings account. And it might be $10 for, a week of dog walking, or it might be for one dog. Not for a whole week of all the dogs. I make more than that, hopefully. Well, no, I do. I do make more than that. On the average week, I make a lot more than that. So, no more limited thinking, no more limited talk, just yes. But so even my settlement money that comes from Steve, my alimony, 10% of that is automatically going to go into my savings account. And I'm probably going to take I'm going to put all the money from the house sale that I get, my portion, it's going somewhere secure. I'm probably going to, but what I might do is take 10% of that and put it into a more accessible place of savings, a little more liquid savings, so that I can get at it if I need it. And when all that happens, all these things that I'm worried about today, and I'm not even that worried about them today, it just, like I said, it was a momentary trigger. And then I said, you know what? Sitting here fretting about it and looking at your bank statements isn't going to change a damn thing. What needs to get done needs to get done. You need to get that carload of shit over to the house, and you need to get to the post office because I got to mail something for a friend, and you need to get to work. I got to get and I have to charge my phone, or my watch, I should say, and get her done. Today's my one day that I have the most time to get some stuff done, so I got to get it done, and that's what's going to move me forward toward this abundant future that I envision for myself, and gives me more freedom, and it gives my husband more freedom, my soon-to-be ex-husband more freedom, because he won't have to bail me out. I think if there's anything about proving anything to anybody, it's not really proving anything to anybody. It's more about not relying on him to have to ever bail me out, or his parents, or my parents, or friends, or anything like that. So, yes. I also had a little flash of Spiral Path memory today that, as I unloaded yet another load of stuff from the back of my little hatchback Mini Cooper of back in like 1986, I would say. 85, 86, somewhere in there, after I was in college, and I was in the town where I was going to school, and I had moved out of, I don't remember now which, I was in between leases. I think I had to get out of the dorm, and I couldn't start my new lease, move into the new apartment where I was leasing for the summer, something like that. Or it was couldn't move into the dorms yet, and I had to get out of my apartment that I'd been in for the summer between high school and college, or high school and, well, college, the dorms. And I ended up putting everything I owned, one load in. I didn't have a car then. I didn't own a car yet. So I put everything, I borrowed a friend's Chevette. Chevy Chevette. If you don't remember what a mid-1980s Chevy Chevette looked like, it was about the size of what a two-door Mini Cooper is. So my Mini Cooper is a little bigger than this Chevette was. Slightly, not much. Everything I owned in the back of this Chevette, and moved it, and then I don't know where I stored that. I can't remember where I moved. I think maybe the apartment. I was staying with these friends for a week or so, and that was horrible. I was sleeping on the couch, and they were bitches. They were mean girls. I'm just going to say it. I doubt any of them are ever going to see this, and if they do and they know who they are, fuck them. 2 of them were mean girls, I should say. There were 4 friends. 2 of them are still really dear friends of mine, so I'm not talking about you, if you know who you are. I'm talking about the other 2 girls from high school that were living with you at the time, and they were not... Except for the Chevette did belong to one of the mean girls, and she was nice enough to loan it to me. But anyway, I had a flashback to that, and I'm like, well, Beth Ann, you are coming full circle here, moving your stuff in the hatchback of a little compact car, one load at a time in the heat by yourself, and kind of relying on the kindness of strangers quite often to get things done. So, yeah. I know that after Friday, things are going to be better. I will have help. I could probably have help now if I just asked. People have offered to help, but they're busy during the week, and I need to get this part done this week. Anyway, I'm rambling. Good thing for editing. Good thing I bought that new computer because it can handle the editing. I need to go to the post office, and I'm trying to decide if the rest of the afternoon is going to be spent going to Bed Bath & Beyond for random things for staging my house and a few random things for here, or if I'm going to just wait. I might as well just wait. Yeah, I might as well just wait. Or I can just order it on Amazon and have it delivered to my front door. I hate to do that. Anyway. And the thing is also, I'm going to have to figure out when and how I'm going to, and with what I'm going to mow the lawn to this house in the next week or two. Luckily, the landlord mowed it last week. They can maybe make it another couple days. But if it stays this hot, I can't do it. I'm going to have to find somebody. So maybe one of the nice new neighbors that I've met have a lawnmower and they can just come over for a 6-pack and a